the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series comes home to the Michigan International Speedway just in time to kick off Indianapolis 100 day, not week, but day, for the pure Michigan 200 here this morning. Good morning, everybody. It is me, Elijah Leonard, here, your commentator for this event. And we're at the halfway point of the season to add on to this one. So after this race, it'll be 6 races down, 6 more races to go in the 2021 season. It's been a fun ride so far, and within the first 5 races of the season, we've had 5 different winners. Ford and Chevrolet have won 4 out of the last 5 races, 2 apiece, Toyota getting their first win of the season just 2 weeks ago at the Pocono Raceway. And the driver that delivered Toyota its first victory of the year is this man, Foster Henderson, driving the number 15. He starts in the back in the field in this race, so he's got his work cut out for him as he will possibly try to make his way to the front. So without further ado, here is a look at your points standings coming into today's race. It is Shauna Martin who has the points lead, just 2 points behind her, breathing down her neck. And I don't mean anything explicit by that one. My alarm's going off. Great. I'm awake, guys. I'm awake. Tyler Ferris, who won at Talladega, he is 2 points behind in second position. Third is Edison Jarrell. Fourth is Foster Henderson, who came off with a win 2 weeks ago at Pocono, as I mentioned earlier. Ryan Fowler, our Daytona winner, is in the 5th position and completes the top 5. Nathan Stapleton is going to be in the 6th position. Jimmy Hogan, our Stafford Motor Speedway winner, is in 7th. 8th is Bronson Minnick. 9th, Bradley Ream, and David Byers rounds out the top 10. And of the 5 winners that we have in this field that are in the top 10 in the point standings, 4 of them are in there that I've just already listed out. Tyler Ferris, Foster Henderson, Ryan Fowler, and Jimmy Hogan. And Steven Alexander, who won at Phoenix, is 12th in the standings right now. So just shy of breaking into the 100-point mark. So he's almost in triple digits, but also on top of that, he is just 10 points shy of breaking it into the top 10 once again. So the type of racing that we're going to have to expect here at the Michigan International Speedway is just going to be simply chaotic. We've got the awesome sauce up on the top side, and if you were here, if you ended up following me when we were watching the WRLA Non-Synergy Cup Series together, back when they were here at Michigan, we're gonna see a lot of drivers slip sliding through the corners, sending it into turn 3, overshooting the corner, going through turns 3 and 4, and the driver behind them getting a much better run. So we're bound to see that here in this 30-lap feature. And we're going to get ready to get going here at the Michigan International Speedway. So, without further ado, the drivers are strapped into their cars. Pre-race ceremonies are just now starting to wrap up. But in order to get these 34 drivers rolling off, we got to get the command to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Engines have been fired, the pace car is rolling off, and so are these 34 drivers. And as they roll out for their pace laps, here's your starting lineup for the pure Michigan 200. drivers have just taken one to go, and we are getting ready to go green flag racing here for the first time at a 10 a.m. Eastern time slot. A lot of the reason for that is just that way we don't impede with the Indianapolis 250 schedule, and as well as Indianapolis 200 schedule, or whatever type of schedule that we may be impeding. We're trying not to impede that one with this RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series race. We're on the halfway point of the season here as the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series comes home. You got Val Mosco and Mitchell Collins there on the front row. Sean Ard and Bradley Ream make up the second row, and Chad Myers rounds out the top 5 with Carter Joey to his outside. RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series competition comes home, and for the halfway point of the season, we are green flag racing at the Michigan International Speedway. Sean Ard in that 88 started third in the race, and now he's gonna dive to the inside to try to take the race lead away. They come off of turn number 4. Val Mosco with the better run up on the outside. He'll lead the first lap of competition. Look at this, 4 wide going into turn number 1. And they're still 4 wide. They settle it back down to 3 wide, but they're 4 wide a little ways back with Billy Kidd. But so far, everybody is keeping it together so far. 3 wide for the most part. Meanwhile, up at the front of the field, 3 wide for second. Sean Art still trying on the bottom. Mitchell Collins in the 32 is going to end up taking the race lead away, but Bradley Ream is right there on the back bumper. Down on that middle line, look at Tyler Ferris, all the way down to the apron. Just on the exit of the front straightaway, but that bottom side rarely has any grip. So as you saw right there, going into the first corner, he had to get out of the gas and also try to make sure that his car did not get loose through the corners. And that allowed everybody to his outside go by. Meanwhile, up front, it's another battle between Collins and Mosco. Mosco's going to win that battle to the line as we've completed the 3rd lap of racing. David Byers in the number 1. Remember, he is 10th in the standings. So if he wins today, he could very well catapult himself up inside of the top 5 in the point standings, possibly somewhere maybe 3rd or 2nd. I'm not 100% sure about the points lead, though. But he might have to get up there, lead a lap, and lead as many laps as possible to claim those 5 bonus points for leading the most laps in this race. 3 wide for the lead. Mitchell Collins in the 55. Or no, that's Carter Joey, excuse me. But Mitchell Collins down there is on the inside, and he might be losing momentum here as we go into turn 1. So that will mean Carter Joey, Val Mosco are going to battle for the lead. And Carter Joey has just been... Oh, crash! Off of turn number 2, 3 cars, 4, 5. It's a stack up on the back straightaway. Stephen Wallace Jr. in the 9 spinning around on the inside. The caution flag is out. And there's our Phoenix winner, Stephen Alexander, in the number 4. And the guy that finished runner-up to him, I think that, no, that's not the guy. The guy that finished runner-up at Talladega, that is Bradley Ream. Brandon Yodel was involved in that one, and Carter Joey is the man that led everybody to the caution flag. It just happened so abruptly. Stephen Colon in the 77. Looks like his bad season most likely is going to continue. But he'll be able to continue on so that way he can get as many points as possible. Billy Kidd, right side damage to his number 6 car. He sat on the front row for 2 consecutive races, once at Talladega and then the next time at Pocono 2 weeks ago. Owen Miles in the 46 for the 2nd week in a row. I think either third race in a row I think it's either second or third race in a row that he has either wrecked, or that he's either wrecked himself or got involved in a wreck. But either way, this is the third race in a row that Owen Miles has obtained some ounce of damage. There's Easton Myers, who was also involved in this. But luckily, there weren't as many cars involved as we would normally have expected in that type of crash, because there was about 6 or 7 cars that ended up with either moderate to major damage on their race cars, and the only other points contender that was involved in that one was the number 4 of Steven Alexander, who I said earlier was just outside of the top 10 in the 12th position, just 10 points shy of breaking inside of the top 10. But as far as that's concerned, David Byers more than likely is going to make that gap a lot bigger, and the number 4 of Steven Alexander is going to take a big hit in the point standings. But he will still continue on on the racetrack. He's just not going to be up to par with the rest of the leaders. Carter Joey in the 55, he is your current race leader, as we came across the line to take the caution flag with about a sixth of the way through. Let's go back and see what happened that caused our first caution of the day here at Michigan. This is something that we were to also expect here at the Michigan International Speedway, is whenever it gets to points like these where there's 4 wide, expect somebody to slip up and get another driver. Looks like Bradley Ream in the 13 got into the left rear quarter panel of the Zaxby's machine of Brandon Yodel, came down into Owen Miles, and they both started washing up the track and into the outside wall on the exit of turn number 2. Shauna Martin, the points leader, gets a little bit of damage out of this. There's Quentin Moore in the number 0. He gets involved in this one, but luckily he's able to keep the car straight and keeps going. Remember, Quentin Moore had a lot of momentum coming into this race. 2 consecutive top 5 finishes. Looks like there's Easton Myers in the 38. He went for a little loop-de-loop. Keeps it going. Billy Kidd in the 6. Right side damage to his car. There's also Steven Alexander, Elijah Gordon, who came to a dead stop. And then there was the 9 of Stephen Wallace Jr., who went for a spin all the way to the inside, of the apron. He did get some damage from Stephen Colon. You saw that at the top of your screen when we were on the aerial view. But this wreck was not as bad as I would have thought. So that is actually a very good thing to say. We're under our first caution of the day here at the Michigan International Speedway. You're riding along with Quentin Moore in the number 0's machine, who, as I mentioned, 2 consecutive top 5 finishes coming into this race with lots of momentum. He just got involved in this crash, but luckily for him, he's still going. And we'll be right back for the restart, folks, so don't go away. We are back here at the Michigan International Speedway. We've just received 1 to go, and we'll be going back to green flag racing on lap number 10. Once we cross the start-finish line this time by, it'll be 9 laps complete, closing in on 20 to go and halfway. And we're scheduled to have at least 1 pit stop in this race. So, with these drivers staying out and taking these caution laps, this is also very beneficiary, and this could also stretch out their fuel mileage by just a couple more laps. Only 1 driver out of the race, that's Bradley Ream. He had just smelled what the Rock was cooking, and the only 2 drivers that are on the racetrack that are at least 1 lap down, you see him right there, Stephen Wallace Jr. and Stephen Colon. It is Joey, Moscow, Myers, Byers, Stapleton, Fowler, Martin, Ard, Aitken, and Ferris. The top 10 as we come back to green, and as expected, these 2 drivers are not up to speed whatsoever. So it looks like everybody that's on the outside is going to blow right on by. And there was somebody coming up. That's Bradley Ream in that 13. He has a lot of speed. Man, that was close there. Stephen Colon, he tried to get up in front of, looks like I think it was the 44, Noah Clifton, but was not able to do that. Val Moscow coming to the inside of Carter Joey to try to take the lead away. With 20 laps to go in the Pure Michigan 200, they race back into turn number 1. Joey on the outside. There's his Vetturini teammate. That's the 25 of Chad Myers. Myers trying to get his first win of the season. These drivers inside of the top 5 trying to get their first win of the season. Of the drivers inside of the top 10, to point out, only 2 of them have gone to victory lane. That's Tyler Ferris in the 69 and also the 78 of Ryan Fowler. Fowler tucks right back in line just outside of the top 10 in front of Chris Reynolds, and Reynolds in the 19 wants more. He goes to the inside of Ryan Fowler to try to take over the position. We've got a lot of stragglers in the back of the field. They're starting to lose touch with the group. They sail it into turn number 3. Look at Chad Myers and all the momentum that he lost on the bottom of the racetrack. Meanwhile, here comes Nathan Stapleton in the 28. He's had himself a monster good season with just a lot of consistency. He's nearly every single race that he's been in the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series, he has finished inside of the top 5 or the top 10 in nearly every single race. The only other race that I can think of that he hasn't done that is Talladega. That was when he was the points leader and got involved in that second crash that ultimately took him out of contention, not just for the win, but also to get himself better in the points standings. Look at Shauna Martin, who is our current points leader, getting a little bit racy there with David Byers in the 1. Joey in the 55, trying to do everything he can. To hold off everybody to get his first win, but we're closing in on halfway, and anything can happen within the next 15 or so laps. Look at this battle going on over here. 4 wide, that's Bronson Minnick, Foster Henderson. There's Allison Rain in that number 7 machine trying to make it work on the bottom side, and Jimmy Hogan in the 52. They were 4 wide at one point. And everybody on the outside making it work. Here comes David Byers on the bottom. There's Blaze Aitken in the 90, who is also in the top 10 in the points standings. Also trying to make something happen. 3 wide. What was for the lead, but now for second. Aitken now starting to lose momentum on the bottom. That awesome sauce is really starting to come into play for these drivers. Man, just look at them. All just fan out as they go down the back straightaway. Look at David Byers now in the 1, diving to the bottom. There's Shauna Martin. Whoa! And it looks like we're going to have some pit stops taking place, and yes it is. Right on the halfway point. Square right on the dot. Carter Joey, Shauna Martin, Bronson Minnick, and also Allison Rain, Noah Clifton, and others come into pit. So that's going to give the lead to Tyler Ferris in the 69 for the time being. Let's see how many drivers come down to pit road this time. Let's see what happens. Down into 3. Some drivers starting to check up. And let's see who all comes in this group. It's Ferris, Myers, Aitken, Moscow, Stapleton, Nelson Reeves, Amy Wilderauer, Ronald House, Foster Henderson. It looks like Jimmy Hogan has a little bit of damage on his number 52 machine. There's just a tiny, tiny little buckle. I don't think you're able to see it, but he has a tiny buckle on his hood, but it shouldn't be enough to affect his aerodynamics. And this should be the third and final group to come into pit road. Let's see. Oh, it looks like David Byers. I think Byers is going to stay out. Yep, Byers stays out along with the 10 of Joey Miles. The 38, the 6, and the 27 all stay out on the racetrack as well. There's Chris Reynolds coming in. Ryan Fowler, Quentin Moore, Kyler Anderson, Sean R., Jeffrey Holcomb all coming in to the pits as well. So let's see where... There's Carter Joey. Right now, David Byers is being shown as the leader. But chances are, Byers is coming into pit this time. And here he comes into pit road. That is exactly the case. So now he surrenders the lead. And we're also coming up on Tyler Ferris in that 69. But also, the lead is going to go back to Carter Joey in the 55 machine. Maybe. Actually, Mitchell Collins is being shown as the leader. He's just 2 seconds ahead. There's also Easton Myers, Billy Kidd, and Elijah Gordon in the 27. They will have to come down and pit. And that is happening. Collins surrenders the lead. Gordon comes into pit as well. Kidd and Easton Myers stay out as they come off of corner number 4. Here comes Carter Joey to the inside of Tyler Ferris on what is most likely going to be for the lead. Side by side. Whoa, man. Bronson Minnick, Sean and Martin getting together there on the back straightaway. Battling hard for that third position. There's Allison Rain in the number 7, who has also been very, very quiet. And now she has snuck her way inside of the top 5 with 10 laps to go. Wait, caution is out. Wait a minute. The caution is out. There was a crash on the back straightaway. Chris Reynolds in the 19. Heavy damage to his machine. The 25, Chad Myers, I see damage to Amy Wilderauer's car. Jimmy Hogan. Oh, man. I said he had a little bit of damage on just a buckle on his hood. And there's a lot more to that. Unfortunately, he is done for the day. Man, I jinxed that. I jinxed him so bad. I am so sorry. There's Chris Reynolds. He put it together a really good run, and unfortunately, he's not going to go to victory lane and is not going to finish this one here at Michigan. Man, that is so sad. What in the world? Owen Miles, what are you doing? What are you doing, Owen? I'm not sure what that was all about, but man, that's going to shake things up in this race. That's going to shake up the complexions. Billy Kidd and Easton Myers both come in and pit. That means everybody is going to be back on the lead lap. However, there will be some drivers that will be on the tail end of the lead lap. And it looks like we're going to see them here. But only time will tell to figure out who's going to be on the lead lap, who's going to be on the tail end. Right now, the lead most likely is going to cycle back. I think it's either going to be Elijah Gordon who's going to be the race leader, or it's going to be the 55 of Carter Joey. Gordon did come in and pit during that round of green flag stops, so I think he's going to be the race leader, but I'm not 100% sure. But right now, we're just going to assume so. Gordon is out front of this field, but I'm not 100% sure if he's going to wound up being the race leader once we come back for one to go. So let's go back and take a look and see what happened that triggered our second caution of the day here at the Michigan International Speedway. Man, you think with the way that these drivers are all spread out, you thought that they'd be done with this, but nope, that's not the case. Chris Reynolds in the 19 gets into the 25 of Chad Myers, and same story, different drivers. They come down into Amy Wilderotter. They both wash up the racetrack. Hard hit into the outside wall there for Chris Reynolds. And you see Jimmy Hogan, he's trying to avoid it, but just doesn't quite do it. Some hard hits here in this field, and Sean Ard, he just got away with a little bit of damage on the right rear quarter panel, but for the most part he is going to be able to continue on regardless. But man, oh man, 4 cars have heavy damage, and unfortunately they're Chris Reynolds and also the 52 of Jimmy Hogan are going to be out of the race. Chad Myers, I think, is going to be able to continue. Amy Wilderotter most likely is going to be able to continue. I just saw her, the hood was removed on that TikTok machine as she is being sent back out there to finish up the race. So we're going to see Amy Wilderotter back out on the track, but will she be any sort of factor when it comes to slower traffic? We're just going to have to find that out once we get down to the end of this thing. We're riding along with Jimmy Hogan in the 52. He almost had a miss. If he had turned the wheel down to the left just a little bit more, he would have been clear of the nose of Chris Reynolds. But unfortunately, that move just sent him to the garage area and that car to the junkyard. He is done for the day. Jimmy Hogan, our winner from Stafford, who won that race in dominating fashion, led every single lap and got all the points about 2 months back. Unfortunately today, that type of performance, it's been guaranteed that it wouldn't happen, but him winning this race is definitely now a guarantee that that is not going to happen whatsoever. Let's take a ride on the TikTok machine. Going through turn 2. I'm getting ripped tonight. R.I.P. that race car. I had to do it. I had to do it. That trend blew up so much, I had to. Man. But still, on a serious note, that is a tough break for Amy Wilderotter. She was doing such a good job in this race, and now, for the most part, she is going to be able to continue on in the race just with no hood on that car, and is going to be way off the pace from the rest of the leaders. And we are inside of 10 laps to go, so that means we are just going to be having a single file restart. So we're just going to have to wait and see what the restart is going to hold. So speaking of, let's rejoin the field as they get ready to restart the Pure Michigan 200 here for the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series Race 6. 1 lap and we will be back to green flag racing, and it looks like, from the looks of things, Mitchell Collins is actually the race leader. And where's Collins? He is all the way back over here. Way in the back. Everybody else in front of him is either on the tail end of the lead lap or 1 lap down. The only drivers that are a lap down are Stephen Colon, Stephen Wallace Jr., Amy Wilderotter. Those 3 drivers are still out on the racetrack, and there is Colon, there's Wallace, there's Wilderotter. But as for everybody else, Chris Reynolds, Jimmy Hogan, and also the 05 of Brandon Yodel, they've smelled what the Rock was cooking. It may not be Mitchell Collins, but it's Elijah Gordon who will be leading the field back to the green flag. 6 laps to go. So the race, whoa, wait a second. Everybody got a really good start except for the leader. Wonder why. I wonder why. But man, those drivers are fighting hard right now. I'm not 100% sure what's going on. This is what happens. This is a typical product of basically just well, whenever there's a pit cycle that takes place and then a caution comes out, and then all of a sudden these drivers are way on the tail end of the lead lap, and then you got the leader who starts way in the back. 5 laps to go, and the race for the lead of the group is heating up. It's Carter Joey in the 55, and you also got Tyler Ferris in the 69 trying to fight back on the inside, heading back into turn number 3. Allison Rain trying to thread the needle. There's Bronson Minnick going to try to thread the needle, make it 3 wide for the lead of the group. And Mitchell Collins is still out there. I don't know what's happening, folks. I have no idea what's taking place. We've got ourselves a good battle for the lead. We got ourselves a good battle here in this race. I mean, as far as this pack is concerned. Oh boy, Wilderauer! That was close. We better watch out for Owen Miles as well. But it looks like either way, Mitchell Collins is going to cruise to victory lane. So long as nothing bad happens to him. Man, I am so confused by that. But it looks like Carter Joey, Bronson Minnick, they're going to battle it out. I still, this is the product of just yellow flags coming out during the tail end of a pit cycle, and then all of a sudden this happens. We're coming to 2 laps to go, and Mitchell Collins most likely is going to cruise to victory lane. I mean, unless if Billy Kidd and Easton Myers have something to say about it, but it looks like this is the race right here, while everybody else right in front of them is racing hard for position. But we're coming to the white flag, and it looks like Mitchell Collins is gonna cruise to victory here, unless if Billy Kidd can get up there and say something about it. Looks like Mitchell Collins has got this in the bag. White flag. 1 more lap to go, and I'm not even like into it right now, because I'm just confused. I am just 100% confused. This is so bizarre. Down the back straightaway one final time. Easton Myers and Billy Kidd are gonna battle it out for position, but I don't think either of them are gonna have anything to say or have any challenge from Mitchell Collins, who comes off of turn number 4, and with a 32-second lead over Carter Joey, Mitchell Collins wins a very strange Pure Michigan 200. Okay, that was interesting. Meanwhile, we're gonna have ourselves a really good race for 5th here. Carter Joey, Allison Rain. Let's see what happens here coming to the stripe. And it's going to be Carter Joey getting it on the outside. Allison Rain is going to end up finishing in the 6th spot. Wow. Okay, so that was actually a really good race there for the 5th position. But as far as this, man, I mean, congratulations to Mitchell Collins, but he won that one. That one basically just fell right into his lap, practically, and he cruised to victory lane. He didn't really have to do anything to win the race. He just cruised to victory lane, while Easton Myers and Billy Kidd battled it out for position. There's Bradley Ream in the 13. Not too bad of a day for him. He comes home in the top 5 regardless of how far back he finished ahead of the rest of the leaders, but well, behind the rest of the leaders, whether ahead or behind, either or. But still, Mitchell Collins, 6th different winner of the season, as we close out the halfway point of the year of the 2021 season. And what a bizarre time! What a bizarre kind of day. This has just been so incredibly bizarre. I just can't even. So to review your results for the Pure Michigan 200, it is Mitchell Collins who wins by a dominating margin over everybody else. But Billy Kidd will finish in the second position, Easton Myers third, Bradley Ream fourth, Carter Joey completes the top five, then it's Allison Rain sixth, seventh is the number 7 of 78 of Ryan Fowler, eighth Nathan Stapleton, ninth Kyler Anderson, and Bronson Minnick rounds out the top 10. Take a look at the rest of your field, scrolling from the bottom to the top on the left-hand side of your screen. Okay. I don't know what to think of that. That was so bizarre of how everything just unfolded. But either way, I mean, it was a good race, to say the least. But that, with that caution coming out with 10 to go, that definitely shook things up. And Mitchell Collins, I guess he had the right strategy, and he managed to get out ahead of everybody, and he was put on the tail end. He was basically put at the tail end of the group, and everybody else in front of him was on the tail end of the lead lap, which still pretty wild to think about. But regardless of the fact, I mean, he definitely did his best, and he winds up in victory lane. Sixth different winner of the season, and the first half of the RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series season is officially done and over with. And now we move on to the seventh race of the season, which will be, I believe, at Watkins Glen International. And I want to go ahead and see when that race will be broadcasted. The next race will be at the Watkins Glen International for the Mike's Hard Lemonade at the Glen. That will be on June 11th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Hopefully you guys can tune in for some really good road course racing to kick off the second half of the 2021 RCOM Pepsi Amateur Series season. And that pretty much does it for me. Thank you guys a lot for watching. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you have not considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fine content coming up in the near future. And up next will be your point standings after this race, concluding the first half of the season. Thank you guys a lot for watching. And I'm Elijah Leonard signing out, and I'll see you guys at noon Eastern for Rewind. And as far as racing concerns, we'll see you guys at 1 o'clock Eastern at Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indiana Bash and the Indianapolis 100. I'll see you guys then.